Hello, peoples of the internet. I've been sleeping in a bit late lately. Anyway, as you'll see, it is a bed. I've basically put the seat in here, and it has fire-coloured foam bedding for whatever reason, because foam I used for the softness of it. It's likely to be the closest we can get to fabric or leather in this game. That's why I've used that. And the fire, well, I just felt like making it fire coloured. I kind of liked the idea of it. Could be changed if I could be bothered to go around and actually do that. Anyway, it is part of a bigger project. I just had that spawned in because I was kind of messing with it earlier. Indeed, it is a mobile shed. It is a massive mod. There's over 1,000 blocks on this. I'm not sure of a specific number. I've not got headlights here either. I did include those bits very early in the build because I knew I might use them, but I didn't eventually use them. I have some headlights up there and some brake lights on the other side. Not entirely visible, but, you know, it's something. Here's where we drive it from. We literally have a tea coffee thingy filling up so that we can enjoy a nice drink. Tea. Yeah, we've got a drawer with some tea in. That hides the wheel, which is pretty big. If that wasn't there, you just see the wheel sticking through the floor. So that's why I've had to have that positioned in the way it is. And you'll see it doesn't handle too well. Very high centre of gravity on this, I would say. It is largely wood, so if I added a bit more metal low down, that might make it more sturdy, as well as actually doing great things for the handling. But, as I say, it is very early in progress in this vehicle, so there's only so much you can do there. I can go to sleep in the back of it, and I actually have one other nifty feature I can show you. If I hopefully go page up or page down, we can open the doors, and you'll see, because of the wide height I've currently got this at, it was very, very low to begin with. You have to jump in, but you can still get into the vehicle, and yeah, just explore around. The keyboard isn't very good, but I don't believe there's actually keyboard pieces, so what you're going to do there. We have our crackers and our cheese as well, right next to the computer. We have space for 4 passengers to sleep and ride when the vehicle is going. Albeit one does have to sit at the computer, but that doesn't seem like the end of the world to me. It's a plastic chair, that seems like the end of the world to me. So again, if I go into this mode, we can see we have a door there that will close. And then if you have some friends online, you can raise that all up. And that door isn't quite right, I'm aware of that. It still needs a lot of fine tweaking and fine tuning, but that will go down so we can climb onto it. And then it will go up so you can get into the back. There is a bit of a workaround though if you don't have any friends, because this door is slower, and I've done that intentionally. So if I just page down, let the speed of that get it. There we go. I think that's about right. And I should be able to now go to the back, and I should be able to bunny hop onto here, yeah, as you always would. That's how you get onto there pretty much. And then bunny hop onto this little cube I've added for this exact reason. Hop into here, and I'm in. That's what you do if you have single player, and the door isn't down enough because it's too slow. We have bookshelves here, and they will hopefully give us some imaginary reading material. And here we have a nice seat. Very close to the driver's seat, actually. It's the same design, just different materials and colours. Here's our TV. I don't like TV, but, you know, I had to include a TV because, well, there's a space with some seats near it, and it was just begging for a TV. There's not really anything else you can do with that shape and size of place. It is a 16:8 display, I believe, and in terms of aspect ratio, so not too far off what people actually have, not too far off what I'm using this to record on. And we have the engine just down there below the TV, kind of hidden by some doors. and it's a standard V8. I just couldn't really find a better place to put it, so it's just shoved in there. Here you'll see I have a kind of improvised toilet of sorts. You can't actually go in there because of the way the doors attached and everything, but you know, I decided I needed a toilet of sorts here, even if it wasn't anything particularly sophisticated. And here we have some seats at the front, not much to say there. I did adjust this all as well, so you'll see you can't really move the vehicle around by slamming into the walls, whereas you could at first. I've tried to do that because it's designed for online, really, so you can have a lot of friends here and you can go around doing things. Here you'll see I have my tea preparing area, so we have our tea leaves, we have our glass beaker things you can put them in, and then here we have the glass beakers with the tea leaves in, and the heater upper, which if I put the warning light on, it does light up. I'll try and show you that from the outside. We can sit on any one of these. The problem is you get chucked out of the vehicle when you leave your seat. Like here we have a fairly neat view of the TV, and that is supposed to be a boiler next to the TV, hence why it's going to blow up and everything. And you know, just a nice overall feature. Hopefully I can get to the driver seat, go out of that mode, and if I can find warning mode. Okay, it's apparently J, so yeah, I don't know, I haven't tested this first, but it's supposed to look vaguely like a flickering fire because you're cooking your tea leaves on it, and that's why it gets more brown as well, because it's becoming tea really, and that has got nothing in it in the front, but hey, it can have something in it. All in all, it's just the way I think it should be. And that there's not too much more to say. I think I've said about all I want to say, so for now I can go to City Map hopefully and do some destructive work with it. Okay, so here comes a train, and I've smashed up the vehicle a bit, but it should still make for an interesting crash, so let's have a look at it. We'll just slowed it down about in time there, and it suddenly started hopping before the train even hit it. That was a bit ridiculous. And as you'll see, it's going to fly away. Bits of it flying off. It is mostly made of pine wood, so that's probably not the strongest material, but I did what I could. It's a very heavy vehicle as well, but not as heavy as you might expect considering the size and girth, would I say, for this. Amazingly, I have all my wheels. It's all-wheel drive at the moment. I think it needs all-wheel steer the way it handles, and I definitely need to tweak some of the bits so they don't fall off every time you try and go over a bump, as they do at the moment. I mean, it needs work. I keep emphasizing that, and it's very, very true. Ah! Honestly, I had like loads of glitch-free usability with this, and then suddenly it's glitching out. Oh well, I've still got my bed perfectly intact, so I can go to sleep. Still, I mean, you can take that as a positive, I guess. Even if the vehicle itself is destroyed, the internals have lasted incredibly, incredibly well. We even have some of our bookshelf left. No, we have what looks like a whole intact bookshelf here, which is not bad considering it got hit by a train, or two almost completely intact bookshelves. Yep, there's our heater upper. Good thing we didn't turn it on before the train came. Moving on. Okay, so here we have a supercharged version of a muscle car you saw in a previous episode. That's why there's a bonnet hump there, basically just to hide the supercharger as best as you can. And I've decided, since this has decent heft, it's made of metal and wood and other materials, quite tightly packed together, unlike the house thing over there, which very densely packed together. You'll see that's the wreck of what was left of the other one. I really need to despawn my vehicle so I don't lag the game. And here comes the train again. Hello! Anyway, we're going to drive at it and see just how it survives. See how we survive, maybe. Yeah, I made the odd change to this. The wheel now works, well, the steering wheel that is. And into it we go. Alright, where can we escape to? Help! Help! I can't even recognise this, to be entirely honest. I noticed that's some of the back of the other car, I think. So can we bunny hop again? Hopefully through this way. Ah, so that's the front of the car. And interestingly, what that did, it smashed the front of the car up, but it smashed right into the side of this building car thing and basically tipped it over from having all that weight pummeled around it, for lack of a better term. Is the top, which is still fairly intact, I'll be honest there. Anyway, we can go back to the garage and hopefully try some more testing with this. And now we have this vehicle, which although not a tank specifically, it does have a fair few weapons on. It actually appears a similar colour to the house. But we can see just how it shoots. Has it survived that reasonably well, I wonder? This car definitely has, but then this is the one shooting, so what do you expect there? Yeah, the stuff has gone right through to the other side. Oddly, it hasn't gone past the other side of the house. Yeah, it's just the aiming of the guns hasn't really taken out the chassis. I would say this thing can probably drive still even. But is it going to be healthy in other ways? Probably not. See, the chassis itself, because of where the guns are aimed, is perfect. The underlying chassis, that is, not the higher parts of the chassis. This is essentially a ladder frame. I'll admit that now. It's basically a ladder, so it should deal without the stuff on top, since that's just a body placed upon the ladder frame. And we have our little car here. It really does fight. The bits of the house don't even go near it because it's so fighty. Yeah, I don't think the little guns are doing much, but I think the more kind of rocket launchers on it, they really smash bits out, and it just can't do anything. It might have the girth and the size, but it is not a strong vehicle by any means. See, the front wheels have given in now. It just can't take a front hit. It did take the side hits quite well, but the front hits definitely not. And you'll see here, I'm surprised the front hasn't collapsed yet. The front could have collapsed a lot more. Come on, one more try. Yeah, it looks very, very unstable now. It looks like the front should have collapsed in. I would not feel safe walking under this because, yeah, you can tell. I wonder if any of the toilets survived. No. It would have been amusing if a bit of a toilet was still left there, but the rest of it had been gone from underneath it. The sink is still there, and we've lost a lot of tea bits. The tea leaves are still there. Sadly not our tea making area. We can actually pick this up, apparently. If I'm trying to grab the right thing, that is, I can pick up the... what's it? It doesn't seem to like it though. Nah, fine. I won't bother. Tea leaves, yeah. So the tea leaves are still upstairs, but would you want to go and retrieve them? Probably not. Still got our bookshelves up there again, but I have no doubt if I kept shooting at this, I could have knocked the top down, but it just would get boring by that point, so, you know, what else can we do with it? I think we can throw it in that ditch over there. Should be good enough fun. And we have spawned right next to the pit. It has all-wheel steer now, by the way. I just added that briefly a while ago in the video, but, you know, you won't really see a difference when I'm shooting at it, so that's why I didn't mention it. And it coped impressively with that, I would say. The actuators went a bit mad. You know, you could survive that, potentially. It's probably one of the few vehicles you can say you could survive falling into a pit with it. Usually it ends up spiraling too aggressively, but this just has so much size to it that even being smashed up, it's not the biggest of issues. It's not taking it as badly as perhaps you would expect. And what do we have round here? Can we go in, I wonder? Can it Can we climb it? Jump, jump, jumpity jump. Jump. No, no. We can't squeeze through the gap there. We can get in here and see the bookshelf is still remaining and everything. I mean, what do you expect? It's not been shot at in this case. Also, there the tail lamps I mentioned. They're more visible now. The rear deck thing has been demolished. Okay, so the final question I'm sure many prospective buyers of this vehicle have is that is the Shedship Enterprise, as I've decided to call it, very quick? Well, quick is a word I would use to describe it, actually. You know, it might not crash very well at all. It might be a bit clumsy around the track, but in terms of being quick, look at that, we do 160 and then the bump. And everything goes a bit wrong. It has a V8. It does have a V8. You have to give it credit where credit's due for having such a powerful engine. It's just... that engine is very high mounted, which is not a good thing. And why are the doors opening? Closed. It's just one of those things with the actuators. You'll also notice if you've subscribed to my other mod, the muscle car. I showed the supercharged version of just a short while ago. The track version of that does now have actuators to open the front and rear of it, which I think some of you may enjoy if you subscribe to it. I'm not making you, but it's one of the features that's been added. Oh dear. You see, though, it does have speed. I was hitting 170 before it eventually gave in, which is better than other vehicles. It must be said. Now, there's one final thing I think we should finish off on, and that's how would a vehicle with less girth attack this? How would a vehicle with minimal size and weight attack this? Maybe not minimal, but a lot less size and weight attack this compared to the behemoth that was that muscle car. Okay, so here we have our free candy van. I built a lot of this on this game, probably more than is healthy. But anyway, this is a 245 block vehicle, so it's nowhere near the 1322 I think of this. And let's see. Well, the free candy vehicle hasn't taken it too well. Its driven wheels still work though. Both the front wheels are gone on it. The engine is still intact there, but the engine is still intact on the house as well. And you're seeing a more normal vehicle attacking it. It's done less damage. Again, you'll see it's taken a hit to the side, but it hasn't become a massive fireball as of this point in time. Instead, it's just taken a hit to the side, as I guess a building should take a hit to a side, really. This is not supposed to be a tank, so for it to get damaged, it's just to be expected, really. And anyway, I'm sure our clients will enjoy this vehicle, unless they live in a war zone, then they won't be very happy, because, yeah, 0-star NCAP as well. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here for today. I think I've shown about all the attributes of this vehicle and what it can or can't do. So I'm going to explode it in one of those fuel tanks. Okay, so as long as we find stupid ideas to do, I will do them. And into here we go. Try and scroll out. I just saw that fuel tank and I'm like, hey, it would be hilarious to see this just explode. It doesn't seem to have done what I expected it to. Trying to capture the worst of the crash. Oh dear. Bob, get out of there. Oh no, Bob might be trapped. I think Bob's trapped. Help. Bob's trapped in a flaming wreck. This is why you don't drive houses. Amazingly, the collision with the wall, I think, did more damage just looking at it. Wait, Bob's stuck in the second floor. I've only just realised that. Bob, can we trek through? Oh, somehow we got out. I don't know how. Yeah, it's a mystery. Just one of those child-friendly endings. But hey, on this child-friendly ending, I think I'm on fire. Yeah, I think I'm on fire. I said, just as I say, it's a child-friendly ending. Oh dear. This is a slightly less child-friendly ending. It must be sad. Has he got petrol on himself or something? Is that why? Right, yeah. I think we finally have sorted our child-friendly ending out. And we can pick up a piece of wood, sure. Very nice. So, on this child-friendly ending, goodbye until another day.